guys, I'm leaving Centennial. I was actually just fishing my Huddleston, and I was bringing it through some boulders. It rolled on me. I snagged a big rock. So I just called the guys up at Angler Express. If you're in the Maryland area, definitely want to go check them out. Good guys. So yeah, I'm going to leave here, go to the reservoir, and see if I can't catch a few bass. Throw a jig for a little while, and then throw a swim bait, and then throw my little wobble head with a Jean LaRue on the back of it. So we'll see what happens. Alright guys, I'm in my car, I'm driving to the reservoir. So I just want to kind of recap what just happened. I was at Centennial and I was fishing my ROF5 Huddleston 68 Special with a jig hook on the top of it. And I knew there was a rock pile out here off this point to the right. And I was fishing it and I was bringing it over some rocks. As I was bringing it over those rocks, it must have like rolled and hooked into something because I got snagged pretty hard and I couldn't really tell what it was on. Part of the problem probably was because I'm using mono. I don't have the funds right now to buy a lot of fluorocarbon. Like they recommend throwing 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon on your Huddlestons. I'm just throwing 25 pound mono. And I know I probably shouldn't be doing that because if I had the fluorocarbon, I'd have a little bit more sensitivity and I would have known what was going on the bottom of the lake. But that's how it goes sometimes. I mean, I'm new to this whole swim bait deal, and you win some, you lose some. You go big or go home with these baits, and today I lost. But it's all right because the guys up at Angler Express, I called them. They're off of, if you're in the Maryland area, they're off Old Patagonia Road. Great guys, Chris, and I can't remember the name of the other guy. He runs their social media program. You guys should really go check them out if you're in the Maryland area or up there by Towson. They got great deals going on. Their shipping, it's anything over $50 in the Maryland area ships to your door the next day for free. Next day. So yeah, definitely go check them out. They're great guys, got a lot of cool stuff. They're affiliated with a bunch of different companies, like rods. You buy one, you break one, all you gotta do is pay for shipping to get a new one. You don't have to pay for the rods. Yeah, so go check them out. I'll hit you up again when I'm back at the lake. What's up guys, I'm here at Rocky Gorge Reservoir. As you can see, they've dropped it tremendously since the last time I've been here. They probably dropped it a good 3 or 4 feet. I was throwing a jig, wasn't getting any bites. I was throwing a worm, wasn't getting any bites. So now I'm throwing this rattle trap, trying to see if I can get anything to eat it. There's a couple stumps. I'm throwing a rattle trap, and then I'm throwing a Jean LaRue biffle bug, hard head with black sapphire on the back of it. I don't know if I'm going to catch anything. I mean, hopefully I do for you guys, but if I don't, that's okay. I'm just kind of coming around, trying to basically junk fishing. I had a plan in mind that I was just going to fish swim baits and worms and stuff, but that didn't really seem to happen as well as I thought it would. So we're going to go into this cove, and then we'll go into the next one, and we'll just chuck this chatterbait or this lipless crankbait around. And then probably come back around and just throw strictly swim baits. So we'll see what happens. Yeah. Alright you guys, so what I've got going on behind me is I'm in a little pocket right here, and there's a bunch of bass, like probably 2-3 pounders, just chilling. I don't want to turn around. I'm trying not to move all that fast because I don't want them to see me and spook off. I'm throwing my jig in there. It's not really working. They seem to be screwing up on these shad. Not these shad, but these little bluegill that are in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my little bluegill glide bait, a little jackal glide bait, and and see if I can't get any of these fish to bite with glide bait. So I know that's what they're back here doing. They're back here eating these little bait, these little bluegill. So I'm gonna tie this bluegill bait on, and we're gonna see what happens. All right, guys. Well, I'm currently leaving Rocky Gorge, Scotts Cove area to go get something to drink and then go home. When I get home, I'm gonna recap what I was using today. I got a few hits. I could never convert anything over to a caught fish, but I think my number one problem was that I brought too much stuff out with me. I mean, I brought my jig box, I brought swim baits, I brought worms, I brought crankbaits, I brought lipless crankbaits. I think I just brought too much stuff with me, and I couldn't really force myself to throw one thing. But when I get home, I'll be sure to recap everything that I was using today and how I was using it and where I was using it for you guys. So, sorry I couldn't catch any fish. That's kind of how it goes with me. Sometimes I got good days and sometimes I got bad days. I'm not like One Rod and everyone else that's able to catch like a bunch of fish. Shout out to Mike though, you're a good guy. You do catch a lot of fish and you got a dope channel, but yeah, it's hit or miss with me sometimes, because I'm not always out on the water studying things like all those other guys are, but I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just saying that my channel, I'm not always going to be catching fish. A lot of it's going to be instructionals and how to do this, that, and I'll take you guys fishing with me when I go out, but I'll catch you guys when I get home and do my recap. What is up, guys? Alright, I'm back here at the house. Just finished taking all the baits that I used out of the boxes to let them air out so they don't get any rust on them. I'm basically going to go over what I was using today. I really just did a whole bunch of junk fishing. Wasn't really catching anything, to be honest with you. Although my first place that I went was Centennial Lake here in Maryland, which is my very home lake. It's like 5 minutes from my house. Where I was throwing this jig. It's Dirty Jigs half-ounce tour level pitching jig with a Zoom Z-Hog on the back and watermelon red with a little bit of chartreuse in the tail. It's a good crawfish imitator. I catch a lot of fish on this color. I don't know if you guys can see the little, there you go, the chartreuse in the tail. I was skipping that under the dock. I got a good couple little thumps from a little fish. But unfortunately I wasn't able to transfer that fish into a catchable fish. But funny, actually, after those little thumps, I was actually really rocked on that jig by a larger fish, and I just couldn't convert. I throw all my jigs on 17 to 20 pound copolymer or fluorocarbon, even though pretty soon I will be using 25 pound Abrazex, just because I will be throwing them in a lot of different pieces of crap. Really, trees, logs, laydowns, whatever. This is my jig box. What I was throwing after that was another Dirty Jigs pitching jig, same color, just different color trailer. Trying to see if they wanted anything different. These are all half-ounce. Throwing a swim jig, a white swim jig. Couldn't really get anything to bite that either. Well, then I went to a bluegill colored swim jig. No takers. I was throwing a football jig around. It's a 3/4 ounce football jig, Dirty Jigs, tour level football jig. It's got a really beefy hook on it. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's got a really beefy hook in there. So I'll be able to, I throw this strictly, a lot of you guys throw them on lighter pound test. I'll throw it on 20, 17 pound. It's 3/4 ounce. So black and blue trailer. Colors like Pond Bug, I believe, something like that. And then the guys at Angler Express said that this little wobble head with a Jean LaRue biffle bug on the back, just ticking it on the bottom, is pretty good. I wasn't able to get any bites on this. Had a couple hits, but nothing that I landed. So just kind of swimming it on the bottom, letting it tick on the bottom, and if I stopped feeling the bottom, I'd let it sink back down. It was a 5/8, so you know it would hit when it hits the bottom. So yeah, I'll put that back in this bag.
Even though it's still rigged up, I'll just throw it back in there. It doesn't really matter. Next, I went to throw in a worm. This is an 8-inch man's jelly worm. I believe this color is 20 pack black grape. It's not really a black grape. It's like a brown color, but when it hits the light, it's got that purple hue to it. And a 1/2 ounce sled, just kind of dragging that around. Wasn't getting any bites either on that. Really good worm though. Big shaky head base style. The tail sticks straight up. Then after I put the jig away, I started throwing a swim bait. I threw the Strike King Shadowlicious. I believe this is a 6-inch version. I believe, I'm not entirely sure. It's a nice bait. It takes a little while to sink all the way to the bottom because it's hollow on the inside, whereas like your Gambler Big Easies or your Bass Pro Shops speed shads will sink a lot quicker because they have more salt in them. So, but I'm swimming that around. Got a couple followers. Never really got anything on the shore. So let's go ahead and put that back in here. I just leave the hooks in them, just rigged up, so I know when I want to pick it up and throw it. It's already rigged. I don't have to worry about taking my hook out and rigging it up. If it'll go in the bag. Jeez, oh man! All right, there it goes. Shadowlicious. I think it's like a 6-inch model, 5.5 inch in Sexy Shad. Had a couple other baits. Never really threw these swim baits around, but I'll probably get around to those. So that's enough for the jigs. I'll close that box up. It's my corner. It's a mess. Got too much stuff. Onto the hard baits slash swim bait. Then after that, I threw this on my pro qualifier. It's just like a little revenge head, 1/2 ounce with a Bass Pro Shops speed shad and like gold and silver flake. It's a nice little bait. I couldn't get anything to eat it. I was just kind of dragging it on the bottom, letting it hit the rocks, get it stuck a little bit, and just pop it out. I was throwing that on 15-pound fluorocarbon. It's a good worm. I mean, it's a good swim bait. Had a couple others rigged up too that I never really got to throw. Another Shadowlicious with a head on it. Gambler, Big Easy, and Shad. Never threw that, but I had just a couple rigged up